Nation, it's your boy Roe Stars Sports coming to you very briefly, live. You know, I've been quiet. But let me say this first and foremost. Subscribe to the channel, like the content. I really like the Dak Attack's approach when it comes to his take on what the Cowboys are doing, how some fans are responding, and versus how others are responding. But I was kind of quiet. I've been real quiet, and it's amazing as soon as you go online, traffic is time to go. But nonetheless, we're gonna get through this very quickly. Well, everyone has heard the sound bites. Everyone has heard the interview. I've heard it multiple upon multiple, over 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. I've listened to this thing. And more and more, I have come to a understanding, and this is not a defense to Jerry Jones, but this is just how I feel about it. I know I have some comments that have said other things, and first and foremost, I do respect your comments. It is your right to say what you want to say, how you feel, long as it's not derogative, long as it's not offensive. Hey, respect, much respect. But I think that Jerry Jones understood the assignment this time around. Jerry Jones have said a lot of things in the past, some of which you just shake your head at and just said, that's just Jerry. This go around, he and Steven, I think I said it before, cut him some slack a little bit. And the reason why I said that is because, hey man, we was dealt a huge blow. We don't know what's on the mindset of Micah Parsons. I'm seeing topics and feeds about him maybe requesting a trade. But nonetheless, hey, it's his prerogative, or whatever the case may be. You know, look, we need Cowboys and Cowboys fans who are all in. Who are all in. I've been a Cowboy fan, like I said, during the Tom Landry era. I'm outside playing football saying Dorsett. You know, Drew Pearson, Randy White. That's me, Ed Too Tall Jones, that you know. But we come through the Jimmy Johnson era, and you know, Jimmy did what he did, and it was a very good 3 years, 4 years that the Cowboys had. Let's say a good stint with Jimmy. So we move forward past Jimmy to Barry Switzer, and then we up to the Jason Garrett era, with bad bypass, Bill Parcells, of course. So now we're here. Been a Cowboy fan a long time. You know, there's an old song that says, I've been running for Jesus for a long time and I ain't tired yet. Well, you know, I've been a Cowboy fan for a long time and I ain't tired yet. My father, he was a Cowboy fan. He's the rest his soul. And my mom was a Cowboy fan. Rest her soul. And I'm gonna be a Cowboy fan. And you know, my soul ain't rested yet. So I'm just in the moment of what's going on with the Cowboys to the degree that, hey man, I like one thing that Jerry Jones said. And Jerry just said something that was pivotal. He said, I didn't know that there was a clock. I didn't know that there's a clock to get this done. And people sometimes, even in the workplace, can put pressure on you with that clock. You know, you get some things done, you make some improvements. Okay, that don't work, you go to the drawing board. You make some improvements, you try to see if that worked. Well, if it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board. But at the end of the day, let's not put pressure where pressure isn't needed. I mean, we've gone through so many quarterbacks. We've gone through so many running backs. We've gone through so many skillful players. We've gone through so many technical players on the offensive line, defensive line. We've gone through so many players. You know what I mean? And even during the Dexter Coakley era. We've gone through a lot of players. Quincy Jones era. You know, and he had his issues and whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, I think that Jerry thought this out, and he has been thinking about this for a long time. And if you go back and revisit one of my other videos, I shared with you that I believe that the Dallas Cowboys are going to choose somebody within. I was wrong in who I picked. Because I ended up going with, what is his name? The defensive coordinator. I was going with Zimmer, Mike Zimmer. But, you know, I was off a little bit. It wasn't the defensive coordinator. It was the offensive coordinator. And so, let me pause this right quick. You guys hold tight until I finish this. I got some things I got to do. Sorry about that. I'm at work trying to make it work like a hooker in a skirt. But nonetheless, man, my train of thought was, okay, so we've lost a lot of players during this season, and I believe that Jerry Jones was looking at this thing for a long time about who he was going to replace Mike McCarthy with. And in the process, I think that they had in their mind that they was going to move away from Mike McCarthy, because Mike McCarthy wasn't not only losing his players, but he was losing some coaches. And I mean players in terms of attention. You know how a coach loses a team? Well, he just didn't lose his team in terms of the team respecting who he is and buying into his philosophy and his coaching techniques. He lost his assistant coaches. He lost them. And the Joneses knew that, and they made a decision, listening to them on one particular instance in the interview where Schottenheimer made a gesture when Mike McCarthy had said something. And, hey man, you know, you hate to see a person lose their job, but at the end of the day, I was one of the first persons who was like, man, you gotta be kidding me if you get this guy. He didn't get Dion. That Mo County. He didn't get Dion, and it would have been a nice move to make, a nice gesture. But let's be real about it. What exactly can we say emphatically? Any doubt that Dion would have been the man for the job? Now, if you want to look at discipline, you want to look at how he holds his players accountable in a stern way, yeah, Dion. And I think that we just got some leaders in position that's long to the point that there would have been, in the words of Coach Shoddy, that there would have been some resistance. Much like he spoke about Dak Prescott didn't want to come out of the game during practice after he threw the interception. And Shadi was like, look, we have an agreement. You know, you got to come out of the game. And Dak didn't want to come out of the game, so he gave him some resistance. So what do you think would have happened if Deion would have came up? And I'm just giving you a spin. I'm not saying Deion would not have been a great coach. I think he would have been a very, very good coach for the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm just saying Deion would have had to weed out, much like he did Colorado when he first went in there. He had to weed out some players because they had some issues about Deion and how Deion was bringing his philosophy across, what he was going to expect and what he wasn't going to expect. He was like, look, if you don't want to be here, then guess what? The portal is right there. They enter to the portal and transfer. But that's Deion's approach. Shadi has a different come across. He has a different come across that makes you, from what I heard from him, I never heard him speak before until this time. And yeah, I get it. People, when the spotlight is on, says all the right things. They present all the right postures. Their phraseologies are totally correct and in line. But there was just something genuine about him this time, this guy. And it was something genuine about the Joneses in the decision that they made to choose him out of all candidates. Ben Johnson, out of all of these candidates that was available, they chose Shadi, Coach Shadi. So whether you like it or not, man, you gotta be on board with what's taking place. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. I mean, a lot of people are riding Stephen Jones in terms of what he said, how he said it. But I think all three of them were being sincere this time. Like I said, I don't know Coach Shadi, but I believe that they were being sincere this time about what they were actually trying to accomplish. I think they actually felt the wave of the fans' anger this year. Everybody, no matter where you went, was upset. And I'm telling you, that Philadelphia game, when they were mocking Jerry, people can say what they want, but Jerry Jones felt that. He human. He felt that. That wasn't just a heckle. That was an aha, clown you moment for Jerry Jones. So I'm saying all this to say that, hey, listen, man, we Cowboys, and we gonna ride till the brakes fall off with the blue, with the star, and the blue. We gonna ride it until the brakes fall off. And we gotta come as one as a Cowboy. As a Cowboy, we gotta come as one, man. As Cowboy fans, we gotta come as one, man, and start representing. Let's stop tearing each other down, man. Let's stop all of the rhetoric. Let's stop all of the clapping and the slickery. I know we upset. I know we mad. I know we hurt, man. There's a lot of us, like I said, been Cowboys fan for a long time. Seen the Super Bowls of the Landry era. Seen the Super Bowls of the Jimmy Johnson era. And a lot of you, 30 years as a Cowboy fan, have never seen it. And I get your anger. Because guess what? We've been spoiled as Dallas Cowboy fans. We have been spoiled. 5 Super Bowl rings. 5. We've been spoiled. So I get it, man, when everybody's talking about America's team, but America's team ain't doing nothing. But hey, man, put it like this. If the Cowboys win the Super Bowl next year, I want to see your comments in the feeds. If the Cowboys win the Super Bowl next year, would that make up for 30 years of frustration? Put that in the feeds. Matter of fact, let me help you. I'll put it in there. Let me just answer this question. Start a poll. I like to do these things, man, because no, I didn't say chicken. Yes. I didn't say Superman. I think we got it. I think we got it. Might be a little messed up, but I hope not, because I don't want to type this all over again. Alright, let's start the poll. Alright, so it just simply says, if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl next year, would that make up for 30 years of frustration? I would dare say yes. If we know that our Cowboys, especially under a first-time head coach, now let me say this before I finish, first-time head coaches have a very, very good chance in going deep into the playoffs and having, let me say this, having a very, very good season. You want to know why? Because teams are unfamiliar about what he's going to do. And if a team like Philadelphia and their head coach, when they went the first time, okay, they should have finished the job. They should have finished the job. This is the first time that this elected head coach has been in this kind of position. So teams are not going to be familiar with what we are trying to do or what he is doing, his philosophy, his analytics, Mike McCarthy, his approach with this particular team. He can do some damage in the league, but this is the time where when he does do some damage, I'm gonna say he is, we got to take advantage of it. And this is where our players who've been there before step up to get him over the hump based on what they've seen before. Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, now CeeDee Lamb. And if they hold on to Law, which I don't think they will, but we got a lot of work to do, and I think we can get it done. So let's get behind our team, man. Cowboy Nation. Let's get behind our team. Let's do some damage. And make this thing work, man. Make it work. Because we are them boys. We are America's team. We got the star. Yeah. And that star's still shining bright. We still the talk of the town, no matter what they say. You know, no matter what the naysayers or the critics say. We're still them boys. You can take that to the bank. Peace. Roe Stars Sports. I'm your boy.